Hi there! So this is another live recording ng Trying Hard podcast episode. If you don't follow the podcast yet, nakalink na siya sa description box sa baba. And if you want me to keep making these, please let me know in the comment section. I'm just thinking na parang some of you kasi are visual learners and you prefer to have me basically on screen talking to you. So if you want us to keep posting itong mga video recording ng ating podcast sessions, let me know in the comments. And if you want to subscribe na sa baba and hit that bell para hindi nyo mamiss yung mga susunod pang mga episodes. And let's jump right in. Alright, welcome to another episode of the Trying Hard podcast. This time, we are going to attempt to start the year right. What does it mean to start well? And how can you write the resolution that would actually solve something this year? I think lahat tayo nag-try hard na to follow through a resolution that we made, pero hindi natin natuloy. And these are 5 things that I hope could help you restructure your resolution para masigurado natin that it happens this year. That's what we're going to talk about today. Alright, now before we jump into yung ating 5 na P's in order for you to have an effective New Year's resolution, let me just start off by saying that I'm so grateful na you're all joining me dito sa aking baby podcast, yung Trying Hard podcast. Itong past year has been fun and medyo heartrending din dun sa ibang mga episodes. Pero reading all of your comments and reading how you appreciate yung podcast really warms my heart. So maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. And today, we are going to hopefully start the year, right? Itong 2020, ito yung very first episode natin for the podcast. And because of that, we're going to focus on yung mga New Year's resolutions. Okay? Now, a quick anecdote na na-share ko na rin sa aking TikTok account is this. A lot of people think that the word resolution means as in the prefix re, and then yung solution, which is yung solution to a problem. And because may prefix siya na or re, ibig sabihin, inuulit-ulit siya. And ang trend is, and I guess, lahat naman tayo nakaka-relate dito, yung mga resolutions kadalasan, every year din siya sinusulat ulit. Every year siya ina-attempt, pero every year din siya binibreak. And I've heard a lot of people tell me na parang, coach, nakaka-discourage na magsulat ng resolution kasi alam ko naman hindi ko rin naman matutupad. But the idea dito sa podcast episode na to is that we are going to change yung thinking na ang resolution ay re-solution into its true meaning, which is resolute plus the suffix ion. Ano ibig sabihin ng resolute ba? Okay, if you look at the dictionary definition, the word resolute comes from yung word na resolve or yung paninindigan, yung firm na belief, firm na decision to make something happen or to do things. And in many ways, it still speaks to what we stand for here sa Trying Hard podcast, di ba? Na lahat tayo try-hards who are trying our best to make it through life. And yung resolution na yon, yung resolve or pagiging resolute is something that's embedded sa atin. So if we rethink the way that we frame yung resolution natin, it speaks to us really using all of our faculties, all of our abilities to firmly hold on to what we wrote as our resolution. So yun yung gagawin natin ngayon. Okay? So again, it starts off with a firm resolve. If with yung paninindigan, with yung paniniwala that this is something that I can do. This is something that I can accomplish. Of course, with the grace of God and with a lot of effort. I think one of the blessings of us being Trying Hard people here in this community, and if you haven't joined the Facebook group yet, you can join us, yung Trying Hard podcast community on Facebook. These are people that you can feel safe with kasi hindi sila nahihiya to claim the fact na sometimes they fail, sometimes they lose, but lumalaban pa rin tayo. Okay, so dun siya nanggagaling. Now, if you look at the common reasons why resolutions don't work, there are a few, no? I asked around din, I looked through a number of articles online, and yung tatlong bagay na ito, okay, actually yung first two lagi mo siya makikita doon. Pero yung last one is something that I wrote kasi this is my personal reason and a lot of my intimate friends, ito din yung reason nila. Okay, so why do resolutions fail? Number one na sinasabi ng mga tao is that it's too hard. Okay? I wrote a resolution that's too hard for me, hindi ko siya kaya. For example, if you planned to, say, be a millionaire by the end of the year, and then the pandemic hit, then it became too hard for you. Now, another reason is this, and this is very common. I hope makaka-relate kayo kahit papaano, no? Ang sinasabi ng mga tao kaya hindi nag-work yung resolution nila is because nagkaroon sila ng lack or loss of motivation. So, whatever pushed them to decide to write that resolution, nawala siya around the middle of the year or minsan earlier pa nga. After a few weeks, yung motivation ko na magpapayat or mag-quit ng vice or to stop procrastinating, nawawala na rin siya. So, yun yung nagiging problema. But the third one, again, this is my personal reason, and a lot of people are not aware of this, is guilt. Okay, let that sink in for a bit. Guilt. Like a lot of people fail pagdating sa resolutions nila because of guilt. Now, bakit guilt? Kasi, I would share this, no? Kadalasan pa nisulat tayo ng resolution. Again, it's easier the first few days, first few weeks, no? But then, sometimes, life hits you with sige na, cheat day naman ngayon. So, eat whatever you want. Or, di ba pagod ka na kasi you started exercising tapos sore yung muscles mo. So, wag ka na muna mag-workout this week. And because nag-fail, okay, air quotes doon ha, nag-fail tayo na panindigan yung resolution natin, just that one time, it makes us feel guilty. At dahil na guilty ka na nag-fail ka, you find it hard to get back on the horse or to start again. When in fact, we shouldn't feel like that. Now, for example, di ba, ang iyong resolution is maybe to stop using swear words. Pero may nangyari na event na nagulat ka, and because it's parang second nature na sa'yo to say cuss words, bigla kang napamura. But then that one moment ng weakness or failure shouldn't define the rest of the year. It's always okay to restart. And that is one of the key takeaways that I want you to basically take away from this discussion. Na failing, again, as with any other part of life, is part of it. So I want you to feel less guilty if in case hindi mo agad na pangatawanan yung pinangako mo nung beginning ng year. Okay? Now, after this quick intro, let me just jump into yung 5 na parang resolution redo requirements natin. So, puro R yan. Resolution, redo, requirements. Now, these 5 are things that I think will be helpful in you reframing the way that you write your resolution. So, kung meron na kayong naisulat, maybe let those words go through itong 5 na requirements na ito. Baka pwede nating i-tweak or i-edit. And if wala ka pa nasusulat na resolution or resolutions mo for this year, these are 5 things to keep in mind as you write your resolutions. Okay? So, let's start with the very first one. It's very important. Your resolution has to be personal. Okay? So, again, all of these 5 things will start with the P. Personal. Now, ano ibig sabihin ng personal? Quick question. Did you actually choose itong resolution na to? Was it your decision or was it forced upon you? Was it something na kinulit ka lang or pinilit ka lang? Or talagang gusto mo talaga siya mangyari? Now, why is it important? Kasi it changes everything. Okay? Kapag wala tayo, and napag-usapan natin ito dun sa ating previous episode, dun sa Finishing Strong, pag wala tayong ownership doon sa decision ng kung ano yung resolution natin or ano yung decision natin sa kahit ano sa buhay, nagkakaroon tayo ng parang easy way out. Sasabihin natin, hindi ko naman talaga gusto eh. Or I really didn't mean to do that or to say that. Pinilit lang din naman nila ako. So, okay lang sa akin to let go. But if it's your decision and if you take full ownership over that, it's harder to allow yourself to fail. Okay? So again, number 1, your resolution has to be personal. It has to be something that you decided for yourself. Totoo siya dapat sa'yo, ikaw ang pumili, ikaw ang gumusto. At kung may iba naman na nag-suggest sa'yo, take that suggestion. But then, after reading or hearing about their suggestion, make sure that you decide nung moment na yun na, okay, I will make this mine. Yun yung sinasabi natin na your resolution has to be personal. Diba? Kasi minsan, diba, we get frustrated. Parang, Daddy, I want you to quit smoking this year. Tapos hindi nagagawa ng dad. Bakit? Kasi hindi naman niya gusto eh. Yung parang pinilit lang siya asawa niya or ng anak niya. But if the dad himself yung magsasabi na, I want to quit smoking kasi dangerous to sa aking health at ang second-hand smoke is dangerous to my children's health, then it is personal to him. And dahil doon, mas maganda yung meron siyang intrinsic na motivation or motivation na nanggagaling sa sarili niya. Okay? So if your resolution is not personal enough, reword it. Like, really commit to something that is true for you. Okay? Now, number 2, your resolution has to be practical. Or, actually, mas magandang word minsan yung possible. Your resolution has to be practical and possible for you. For you in this specific season of your life and in your specific situation. Let me give you an example. No? A lot of people like to save money as their resolution. So, sasabihin nila, okay, I will save 30,000 pesos per month or 20,000 pesos per month. But the thing is, although it's good that your resolution is precise, no, and it's numbered, the problem there is baka hindi siya practical for who you are right now. Kung sumasahod ka ng sabihin natin 30,000 a month, tapos nag-decide ka na 20,000 ang savings ko, ang question would be, yung 10,000 bang tira doon, livable na bang expense yun? Like, enough na ba yun para sa renta sa bahay, tubig, at everything else that you need to spend? Enough na ba yun sa totoong lifestyle that you're living right now? Or ang mangyayari lang is that, the first month, siguro magagawa mo, pero nagsa-skyflakes ka na lang pag-break. And then the next month, di ba, dahil nga, nirepress natin yung sarili natin, or we kept yung mga luho from ourselves, you will start to feel guilty. Tapos, magsusplurge ka, and because nag-splurge ka, mag-fail ka ng February, and then, dahil doon parang, okay, ayoko na, kasi hindi ko pala kaya. Again, one of the reasons why resolutions fail is that it's too hard. So, don't make it too hard for you. Commit to something that is practical and possible. So, kung 30,000 ang iyong sweldo, tas ang living expenses mo, sabihin na natin is nasa 20,000, then yung 10,000 na natitira, isipin pa natin, kaya ko bang isave yung 10,000 or itry ko na 5,000 lang muna. 5,000 yung lalagay ko sa paper, 5,000 yung commitment ko, pero if I have extra funds or bigla akong matipid that month, idadagdag ko na lang siya sa savings. So again, it has to be very practical. Kino-combat natin doon yung dalawa sa mga top reasons why people quit their resolutions, which is it's too hard and that it makes you feel guilty. Kasi kapag hindi ka nag-fail, di ba, it makes you feel less guilty about things. So again, your resolution has to be practical. Alright, so third P na tayo ng ating resolution. How do we make sure na yung resolution natin is effective? Here's a mind hack, okay? Or a brain training exercise. Mas effective kung ang resolution natin is positively worded. So ang third P natin is it has to be positive. So ang question would be, how did you frame your resolution? Action-oriented ba siya? Or is it a list of what not to do? Now, why is this important? Kasi studies have proven na kung ang inyong resolutions ay negatively worded, as in, don't smoke, don't say cuss words, don't eat too much, or anything like that. If it's negative, mas prone tayo not to do it. And medyo a little bit of a parenting hack din ito, no? Or if you're a teacher and you're dealing with students, this is also something to think about. Kapag tayo ay nagsasabi sa mga bata na wag mo tong gawin, di ba kadalasan they do yung opposite. Like, whatever you say na hindi nila gagawin, yun yung ginagawa nila. So, there's something that triggers our sabihin natin, primal mind when it comes to negatively worded things na it makes it more attractive to us sometimes. Kaya when we're framing our resolutions, mas maganda kung positive siya. For example, if I'm going to say na, okay, ang aking resolution is I won't procrastinate anymore. So instead of me saying I won't procrastinate this year, ang sasabihin ko na lang would be, I will fulfill all of my deadlines or I will make sure that I complete all of my projects on time. Bakit ganon? Kasi yung moving forward na wording or yung pagiging positive ng statement is going to be something na mag-motivate sa'yo positively. Kasi ang positive motivation still works better than negative motivation. So again, think about how you're framing your resolution. Positive ba siya or negative ba siya? How can I reword it to turn it into positive action? For example, one of the most common resolutions is about losing weight, right? Like I will lose 20 pounds every month. Like 20 pounds naman isn't too bad, no? Pagdating sa weight. But the thing is, if we're talking about just losing weight, it has a lot of factors that could make it challenging. For example, ako, mesomorph ako. So, kapag nag-workout ako, ang nangyayari is the opposite kasi I tend to gain muscles faster. So, instead of losing weight, I gain weight. And because of that, I will feel discouraged. So, instead of saying that you're going to lose weight, what you could say would be, I will eat this number of calories per day. Or I will exercise for 30 minutes each day. I will do my mindfulness exercises every day. Like, itong positive action na to, mas maganda siya na way to look at your resolution versus just looking at the amount of weight that you have to lose. So again, think of how you're framing your resolution. It has to be framed positively. Okay? So, dapat positive. Next, number 4, your resolution has to be precise. Medyo na-mention ko na rin siya kanina, no? Pero ano ibig sabihin ng precise? Ibig sabihin lang niya, may mga specifics siya, or may mga number figures. May mga way for us to measure if we really are following through our resolution or if we're really succeeding dun sa ating resolution. So, ibig sabihin nun, again, if you could assign number values, if you could have a way to measure your success, that would be perfect. Baliktad natin yung weight, no? Although specific kasi yung sabihin natin, I will lose 20 pounds, ang problema, negatively worded siya. So if I want to make it both positive and precise, what I would say would be, I would work out 5 days a week. So for 5 days, every week, I will do light exercise. For 30 minutes, di ba? I will walk or I will run, I will dance. So 30 minutes ng cardio, 5 days a week. So that is, again, precise kasi 5 days per week. Kung gusto mong everyday, pwede rin naman. Sa akin lang, I like saying 5 days a week kasi for me, yung everyday isn't too practical. For me lang ha. Kasi nga again, I tend to build muscles fast. So, kailangan ko ng rest time in between. So again, you have to think about that. So, lagyan mo ng number values. Diba? I will save this amount every month. Dapat meron talagang fixed amount. Hindi yung I will save money. Kasi yung I will save money, anything from 1 peso to 10,000, 20,000 pesos is still money. So, hindi siya measurable masyado. So, it has to be precise. Okay? Now, dito na tayo sa last one. And this is very important. And I wish I could give people what they need pagdating dito sa last one. But the thing is, you really have to look around and see the people who will keep you in check. Okay? So, yung 5th na P is, it has to be peer checked. Peer means friends or people you're with. Basically, simplified na meaning niya. Ang ibig sabihin lang nito is kung meron kang resolution, maganda if you have an accountability partner or a workout buddy, a study buddy, that will remind you that you made this promise. Kasi kung sarili mo lang, yung nakakaalam ng inyong resolution, ang tendency is that kapag nag-fail tayo, walang nag-remind sa atin na we did something na hindi natin dapat gawin. Problema rin siya in many ways kasi kapag mag-isa lang tayo, tas tayo lang din yung nagko-correct sa sarili natin, we either are too casual or too punishing sa sarili natin. Sa akin, as a person, again, aaminin ko sa inyo, I hold myself to a too high of a standard sometimes, na kapag hindi ako peer-checked, ang nangyayari, nagiging punishing ako sa sarili ko. Pag nag-fail ako, sobrang harsh ko sa yung internal conversation ko with myself. I could call myself, kasi napaka-undisciplined mo or ang weak mo talaga or something like that. But if someone keeps me in check, a friend who will tell me na, oh, di ba you promised to do this? I actually am a little bit kinder to myself. So again, it really works in multiple ways. Okay? Hindi lang someone who will, alam niyo yun, whip you into shape. Hindi naman ganon. But having someone to keep checking on you and reminding you na wala kang fear of failure, shame, or anything like that is a huge blessing. So I want you to look around at the people that you are with and find yung mga diamonds na yan. Like, sino yung mga friends ninyo who will encourage you to be better and do better this year? Sino yung mapagkakatiwalaan nyo when it comes to your resolution? So, yung mga may jowa dyan, or yung mga relationships dyan, that is where it comes into play then. Like, you're blessed to have someone to keep you in check. But it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship naman. Like, your mom can do that for you. Your sisters can do that for you. Like, I do a lot of those then with Jana, my younger sister, when she was here, no? Kailan kasi ngayon nasa Japan na siya. But you can find someone who will remind you dun sa promise that you made sa beginning ng year. So you know me and I don't lie, or at least I try not to. And when it comes to New Year's resolutions, or any resolutions for that matter, I know that we are all bound to fail, like 1 or 2 times or maybe more. But again, sinabi ko na kanina and sasabihin ko ulit, if there's one thing that you can take away from this podcast, whether you're listening to this right after I released it or maybe at a later time, kahit pa sabihin natin na December 29 na ngayon, or nasa gitna tayo ng taon, June or July, it's never too late to start. Okay? So, write something that you want to change, write something that you want to improve, follow the 5 P's. Again, reminder lang, it has to be personal, it has to be practical, it has to be positive, it has to be precise, and it has to be peer checked. And if you follow those 5, I'm hoping na you're going to follow through with your resolution. Again, find that feeling, that commitment, that passion to be resolute and single-minded, focused on your resolution or resolutions this year. And I hope to hear yung mga stories ninyo on kung gaano siya ka-effective. Okay? And if not naman, just the challenges that you encountered. Again, the idea of this entire podcast is that we are all trying our hardest. At the times na we fail, that's okay. Sabi ko nga, when I was in high school, I do this little bit for my friends. You just dust yourself off, stand up straight and tall, and keep walking. So again, thank you for listening, and thank you for joining me in this episode. There will be more coming up. There will be more guests coming on board. I'm excited for that. And mag-usap tayo sa susunod, as we always say dito sa community na ito of people who try hard and shoot for their dreams. It's okay to dream big, work hard. Start now. And if anyone tells you na you're a try hard or trying hard ka lang naman, just shrug it off. There's nothing shameful about that. Let's keep going this 2021. I'll talk to you soon. Alright, that's it muna for today, and thank you for joining us. Again, don't forget to follow if you haven't yet. Subscribe to this channel. Look for the podcast na lang. It's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and we'll see you soon.